The All-Star Game is approaching. We are less than a week away, and there have been some questionable calls on who made the All-Star Game. David, we see right now on the graphic who is up there, and we'll talk about him last because I know both of us have some thoughts on it. Was there anybody that just jumped out at you that didn't make the All-Star Game that really should have?
One that jumping out to me, Framer Valdez, not making the All-Star Game is a huge one for me that he is not on. That doesn't make any sense to me. Is having a great year, great start to the season. He should definitely be there. Sei Suzuki as well. It should be an All-Star. And the other one I know you love this guy. I love him. Junior Caminero.
Those are mine. Funny. Okay, so I have three of them too, and all of them are really good ideas. But it's funny that the three guys that I picked aren't those guys. So like it's really cool that way. And we didn't even discuss this before the show. My first guy, Michael Busch. He did not make the All-Star Game, but Freddie Freeman did as a starter, which doesn't make any sense to me because it should have been Pete Alonso as a starter. Agreed?
I believe Pete Alonso should be an All-Star starter. I can't argue with starters. I should have been starters, yes. But the fans, I like this. The fans get to see who they want to see. And they want to see Freddie Freeman. I can never argue with starter or not starter. You're an all-star, you're not an all-star. I've got a lot bigger problem with just not being on the team. Being a starter, yes. Fans should be higher educated in who they should be picking. At the same time, I just want them to make the team. And the fans want to see who they want to see. So if you want to see Javier Baez in center field or in outfield, go see Javier Baez. I don't know why, but go for it. Or if you want to see Freddie Freeman, I've got no problem with you seeing an ex-MVP and superstar and World Series incredible stud. I can't argue with it, but I'm much more problem with not being an all-star than I ever am about not starting.
See, I got a problem with the fan vote because the fans never get it right. I remember years ago there was this reliever with back-to-back 30-save seasons, Mr. 69, never made an All-Star game. So how can I respect the fans' vote?
The fans don't vote for that, brother.
Well, they should have written you in somehow. You should have made the All-Star game.
Fans don't get to pick relievers. And then if they did, all it would be is still be Mariano Rivera probably.
Fair enough. Let me just get back to the first base question that I made. So we have three guys over here. Michael Busch, Freddie Freeman, Pete Alonso. Michael Busch's WAR, 3.5. Pete Alonso's 3.3. Freddie Freeman's 1.8. The only place that Freddie Freeman is currently leading those two guys is in batting average, and he's got 299 to Michael Busch's 297, Pete Alonso's 290. And then on-base percentage is Michael Busch. Slugging, Michael Busch. OPS, Michael Busch. OPS plus, Michael Busch. Michael Busch has a 170 OPS. Freddie Freeman has a 139. How in the hell did he not make the All-Star game?
Well, I don't want to compare it again. I don't want to compare it to Freddie Freeman. Can't compare it to Freddie Freeman because that's what fans wanted. And again, that's not like the worst pick in the world. And having better stats, yes, should push you to the All-Star game, and it makes a great argument. But when they're close, that's where I can't really argue with you. They're close. Okay, so pick the dude who's always been an all-star and is so consistent, not just like the first time popping up. And that was a lot of times like my argument, how I justified it with myself not making an all-star team. In 2009, I should have, without a doubt. But I started looking, going like everyone else besides like one guy was an all-star pretty consecutively. Like they deserve it. Like I've had a great first half. They've had a great career. I get it. But when these stats are that close, Michael Busch, though, is incredible. 18 home runs, 56 RBIs, 297 average, slugging over 566. It's great. Everything he's doing, he deserves it. I don't want to wish this upon anybody, but I wish somebody gets hurt so he gets to be in there.
Well, he probably wouldn't get in there anyway because there's another guy who would be named the reserve probably before that. So
probably.
Because he wants his money. All right, let me go to my second guy. Randy Arozarena should have probably gotten in over Julio. Their numbers are very, very close. And I know Julio plays a better outfield than Randy Arozarena, but OPS plus for Randy Arozarena is 133. For Julio, it's 102.
Yes. And Randy Arozarena basically beating him in almost every single category, having a better year. When it gets to the player and like the manager picks, I don't understand where picks like this happen. And I think this is where I kind of look at it and say, this is Major League Baseball a little bit, probably pushing and saying, who can we sell?
Yeah.
Who does it look better? And who do we think is going to end up having a better career? So it's important that they get the All-Star Game, like little check mark next to their name. I don't like that. I just give me the guys who earn it right now, because Julio hasn't, and Randy versus Julio has definitely done it.
Yep. And finally, one of your favorite players in baseball that I'm surprised you didn't pick, Mr. Suarez.
Yes.
Dude.
Ranger Suarez. And you know what this comes down to? I think, like, if I remember right, his first start really sucked. But how do you have a guy who has a 1.99 ERA, 7-2 with a 1.99 ERA, and absolutely lighting it up, not be an all-star? Trey Turner, too. Here's a name we haven't even talked about. Trey Turner is hitting almost 300 right now. He's first among shortstops. How about this? First among National League shortstops in average, hits, second stolen bases, doubles. I was going to say second bases. He's second in runs, second in triples, and third in OPS amongst shortstops. That's like,
should be there.
Where are we missing this? Like these, and Ranger Suarez across the league has been just so dominant. Mm-hmm. How do we, as a manager and players, miss these guys? Like if I'm the manager, if I'm Dave Roberts, how do I not look at that and go, dang, like even if you're not going to pitch in it, pick you as an all-star, you're not going to pitch, so I'm going to get somebody else or something like that. However that works. That stuff like that bothers me, because I don't care. To me, like, he might win the Cy Young.
Yeah.
And if he didn't have a bad first start, he would be, or have two names that are bigger than him on the same rotation, he would be the favorite for the Cy Young right now.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that first start, because my problem with the All-Star Game has always been that, you know, everybody's paying attention in the beginning of the season. So that first month, if you have a great month, odds are you're going to be an all-star. People forget after that second month to take a look at what they've done since that beginning hot streak. Take a look at the next guy we're going to talk about, Juan Soto. He started off the season in the toilet, but now he's amongst the best in baseball, and he didn't make the team. That is not a coincidence to me. But before we go to the Soto thing, I did want to ask you about the fan vote one more time about one thing. Did the fans screw up in the National League at the starting shortstop position? Because me personally, even though I'm a Met fan, I want to see Ellie. I don't want to see Mr. Smile. I love Lindor, but Ellie's got to be there. You know, if you're going to be promoting the game, it's got to be Ellie. Your thoughts?
Yes, I think Ellie De La Cruz should be starting shortstop over Lindor. But again, I also look at what the Mets have done in general, and he's the captain of that team. He's the leader of it.
Not officially.
And I always look at this too. Like you're the starting all-star shortstop until you're not.
Yeah.
And Ellie is the next in line, but he still has steps he needs to take to go to that next level. And I don't mind on this, but again, it probably should be Trey Turner.
It's very possible. But it's funny that you say you're the starting shortstop until you're not, because Francisco Lindor didn't even make the All-Star game the last 2 years. So the fact that he didn't make the team last year or the year before, and now he's a starter when, I don't know. I think it's more of the New York fans, because there's so many more of them voting him in for the last couple of years because of the last couple of years him not making it.
Hey, I look at this, like the A's got a dude in, like a starter in.
Yes.
The Tigers have gotten starters in. So I don't think the Met fan base is that much larger than other fan bases by any means.
Really?
I really don't think so. I don't think the Mets fan base is that much larger at all when you go across the country, because Because when I'm out here, there's Phillies all over the place. Now, again, it's more than the Reds, but
Right.
it's social media fan voting. If you wanted Ellie De La Cruz, it's not that hard to get Ellie De La Cruz to start the game. It really isn't. The fact that James Wood is not starting, there's a huge Nationals fan base.
Yeah.
There's no way Jacob Wilson is starting this All-Star game if we're talking about size of fan bases. It's enthusiasm of fan base. And when the Mets are good, there's nothing more enthusiastic than a Mets fan, even though in the back of their mind they still think they're going to lose. And it's going to fail,
true.
and you're going to drive this car off a cliff. But enthusiastic fan bases get you all-star starters. That's where I have a problem with James Wood, and that's where I have a problem with some of these other guys like the Reds. The Reds, just there's not enthusiasm yet about that team. If they're next year and they're actually in the place where you thought they would be this year, which I think they will be too, then you're going to see a huge push for Reds. You're going to see a big push for Reds because there's going to be an enthusiasm about that team. If they're in second place right now and they were above where they're at, I think there'd be a bigger push.
Okay.